Okay, going into single whip. Make sure, as I said, that right foot is facing directly to the front, otherwise you won't be able to make this step all the way around. The weight's 100% down in your right heel. Okay, what the arms are going to do, just the arms by themselves. You're simply going to maintain this structure of the arms, but just turn both palms up, like that. So your arms are like this, fingers in the elbow, like that. Just turn both your palms to an upward facing position. So the fingers are still here, like they're touching on the inside of the elbow. But as you do that movement, what your arms are going to do is a counterclockwise circle. So imagine your palms have started, I'll do it towards the camera first so you can see. Imagine your palms have started at 6 o'clock, so the right wrist is at 6 o'clock. It's going to go backwards up to 12 o'clock. So we get that kind of action. See, they've gone from here, they've raised up, both arms have raised. One more time. Twisting as you're raising up to there. Be sure not to drop your arms. From here, you're at 6 o'clock, so you can't go down. You must not do this and then lift. You must only go from a dropped position. I mean, they're already fairly high anyway. The right palm in that posture is slightly higher than the left palm, and that's about facial height for your long arm. So they're going to raise just above your own facial height, like that, up to there. So if I do it very large, we're getting that kind of action. That's too big though. We just want twisting the hands, do a circle. So you just do that first. Just use your shoulders, take them out to the right, over and up. Then as you do that, just simply turn your palms up. Rotate them so you're twisting them over this way. Okay, so that's all done with reference to this corner, to where we finished the last movement. So, twisting up and over. Fingers are now just here on the inside of the elbow. Now, as you come back from 12, back down to 6 o'clock, you simply leave the left hand as it is, it's in your center with the fingers on the elbow. The right hand is simply going to come down, well the whole structure of the shoulders come down, but watch. This is where you make the hook, from 12 back to 6. So do not do this. Don't go up and then just make a hook at the top. See, I haven't dropped. Here's 6 o'clock, that's where I started. I go up, there's 12 o'clock, watch what happens when I make the hook. My wrist has come back to 6 o'clock. Then I straighten my arm through that circle that I've just created. Okay, so counterclockwise circle back to 12 o'clock, palms turn up. Leave the left palm touching on the inside of the elbow. Make your hook with the right hand. So see, the right hand is slightly yang at this point. It's going to go yin and create the hook. Like that. The hook shape is like this. Those three fingers, index finger and middle finger, are pointing into the thumb. The left fingers are not like this, so you're not touching all the fingers on the thumbs, just those two. These are just tucked in out of the way. And the wrist is bent down like that. See how it's again a rounded structure in the palm itself. These fingers are just tucked in out of the way. And then you're going to push through the circle like that and straighten the arm. Okay. So we've done that. Down the circle, as you're making your hook, the fingers are coming together. Now, everything's still facing to the corner. Weight is still in the right leg, in the heel. The elbow is tucked, this right arm, so it's not fully extended. It's still just got that little bend. The elbow doesn't bend at all or extend during this posture because it's already got a little bend in it from here. So it's just an upward movement with the circle. Tuck in. See, it's still got a bend in the elbow. Now, what the arms are going to do with this posture is just extend your right arm through that circle like that. keeping the wrist bent. Don't lift the wrist up, keep it bent down. As you extend the arm, watch what happens to the fingers. See that? It's like as if the elbow is throwing your fingers away from you. So that's to get the timing right. Now what we have to do here is, we've got to do the step now. So we're on the corner, make sure again that foot is to the north. Weight's in the right leg. Okay, as you do that, extending the arm and twisting, see I'm opening the waist now, so the center is turning. I'm closed in here, the center is going to start moving to my left. As I do that, I've got to pick up my left foot, heel and toe together. Watch how it lifts. See how I don't roll the heel like the other postures. We're not going to lift the heel first. We're going to lift the whole foot flat off the ground. This indicates that you've got all your weight sunk in that right leg and you're able to just pick it straight up. If you're not fully sunk and you've got a little bit of weight in the left leg, you would have to roll the heel. See, I'm changing my weight and now I can pick it up. So that's kind of cheating a little bit. So you must pick that foot flat off the ground. Okay, so 3 things happen together. Extend the arm, open your waist so that the left fingers come with you because that hand just stays in your center line the whole time, and pick up your foot. There. Right, you're still remaining sunk, don't stand up, keep your weight sunk down. The right arm has now straightened. The elbow is actually straight in this posture. It's not like this. All the other postures, the elbow is slightly bent. Single whip, you must have a straight arm. I'm not going to go into too much detail there because it'll take me another lesson just to talk about why the arm is straight. Just know that the arm is definitely a straight arm. You'll see many people doing single whip like this. This is an incorrect structure for the posture. This is for an internal reason in the form, not for a physical reason. It's an internal balancing posture and we need to lock that arm out. So make sure it's straight. Only when you see the advanced forms of people who have been doing it for 10, 20 years, you will see a fraction of a bend in the elbow. But if you do this straight away, you'll never get to that level. You can't start with advanced movements. The movements are designed in a way to teach your body something. And if you don't learn the first parts, then you're never going to get the highest levels. So do it with a straight arm. Okay, foot's off the ground. Arm is straight, aiming to that corner. Okay, I'm just going to forget about the right arm, just look at the left arm. See how the left elbow, the wrist is in the center, the left elbow is directly over the top of your knee. All you're going to do with this is just from your right hip, just turn your whole body, but holding that structure. See how I haven't changed the structure? I'll do it towards the camera. So foot's come off the ground, wrist is in the center, watch. See how nothing's changed? I haven't lost the structure of my arm. I haven't moved the arm from the center and I haven't moved the leg from the center, like that. Up, twist. Again, make sure this knee is over the toe. Don't let it buckle in like the other postures. Okay, when your wrist gets there to the camera, so that this will be to the west of course, but when your wrist gets to that cardinal point, 2 things have to happen at once. Your wrist is going to do this. It's in your center, like that. It's got to just float upwards, like you're doing an upward pung strike, like that. See how it's now come in line with my shoulder. So it starts in the center. It's going to float upward, like that. Just a little bit, the wrist a little bit above the shoulder, but in line with it, like that. Yin, still the wrist is totally yin for that movement. As you do that with your palm, the foot, or the leg rather, which is bent, the foot's just like that, so it's still in the same position as when you first picked it up. As I do that, I'm just going to extend the leg. So literally just straighten the knee, flex the heel, and drop it down. Just like when we took the step in the previous sections, when we did that. Only you've done a sweep into the movement, and when you get to there, both things happen together, touch. So when the hand gets to that upper position, that's when the heel hits the ground. Remember, lock the arm out, keep this directly pointing down, twisting. You do allow this to come around slightly, you don't hold it right out here to the corner, that creates too much tension here. So when you feel that little pull across the shoulder, just allow the arm to come with you slightly. As I say, when you get to here, the knee's slightly bent, you're going to extend the foot to place it down. As you float the palm upward, touch. Now you're just going to sink all your weight forward, or rather 70% as per a normal forward weighted stance, and flex that left palm. Your rear toes, of course, as usual, will drag around 45 degrees because they started out here. So you've placed like that, you just come forward like that. The palm is still in alignment with your shoulder. It's not over here in your center. So the strike, if I do it towards the camera, the strike is like that. It's not like this, going off to the corner. It's directly forward with the palm. The palm is in that natural tile palm hand again. Don't flatten the hand like this. Just keep it relaxed. Index finger is about as high as your nose, like that, but it's still in alignment with your shoulder because it was in your center, remember? Comes to the shoulder and pumps forward like that. Single whip is a slightly different stance to a normal bow stance, so that's why we need this foot placement with the wrist in the center. That'll give you the right step. So if my knee is still under my elbow in alignment with it, when my wrist gets to here, from here to here, from elbow to wrist, is the correct amount of width that I should be taking this stance. So I know that my elbow is over my knee, the wrist is in the center, so that's how wide I want to put my foot. The length, you just stretch your leg out as far as it will naturally go. And then you bring the wrist in alignment with that and come forward and drag the toes. So effectively what we're getting there is a slightly narrower stance than usual. If you want to just start into a single whip stance to make sure you have it exactly right, you take your normal bow stance width that we started, such as pung and things like that. That's your normal width. You go the width of your own foot. So there's where my foot is. I'm going to come inside that width. So it's your own foot width narrower than a bow stance. And then all the other principles are the same. Turn the foot out 45 degrees, take a step forward. Because it's narrower, of course, it will be slightly longer than a normal bow stance. Because of the different size, the length and the narrowness, single whip stance, you do not pull the hips right into the front like this. Your hips are just slightly off center. Don't let them ride open. You still want to feel that stretch down through here, but they're just, there's the front, they're just a little bit relaxed off from that position. Just fractionally off center. Everything else is the same. The structure of the legs, the weighting, 70% forward, bum tucked under, all of that is the same. And the palm is going forward. Of course, because the shoulders and everything are off center, you're going to be looking slightly out the corner of your eye because the strike is still going to the front. Okay, I think that should give you enough for those postures. In breath, out breath, in breath, out breath. Now just this little end bit, in breath as you lift the palm, and then out breath as you come forward. Don't forget to drag your toes around. Okay, that should do you. That's the end of lesson 7 of Yang Luchan's basic form.